Glad to see you on our channel. We hope that this video will be interesting. Astronomers have discovered why huge rocks creep on the moon. A combined team of scientists from the Max Planck Institute for Solar System Research in Germany and the Zurich Swiss Higher Technical School compiled the first global map of rockfalls on the moon. An analysis of the data obtained showed that they were not caused by lunar earthquakes, as previously thought, but by external influence. A brief report on the work is published on the Max Planck Institute website, and the full study can be found in the journal Nature Communications. The first global map of rockfalls on the moon was created on the basis of analysis of more than 2 million images that scientists were able to find in the archives. In total, 136,610 events were applied to it. Moreover, the analysis showed that even the oldest lunar landscapes are still in the process of their formation. Separate boulders on steep slopes and rocks can slide, roll, and even bounce. This process, known as rockfall, occurs not only on Earth but also on the moon. Boulders on the moon more than once moved down the slopes, leaving behind noticeable furrows. This phenomenon has been observed since the first unmanned flights to the moon in the 1960s. During the Apollo missions, astronauts examined several such traces on the moon itself and brought samples of displaced stone blocks to Earth. However, until now, scientists have not had a clear idea of the extent of rockfalls. Creating a map allowed not only to evaluate it, but to get a new understanding of this process. The vast majority of displaced boulders on the moon have a diameter of 7 to 10 meters, explains the lead author of the study, Valentin Bickel. Previously, space probes that studied the moon could not detect such small objects on a global scale. In a new study, a neural network was used to find them. Artificial intelligence has been taught to recognize typical rockfall traces in satellite imagery. This made it possible to find displaced stones of even a very small diameter, up to 2.5 meters. In addition, the map helped to systematize the data and establish the most likely causes of rockfalls. Scientists previously suggested that the lunar earthquakes were the main reason for this. New data suggests that asteroid impacts play a much more important role in this process. They, according to scientists, are responsible for more than 80% of all discovered rockfalls. Traces of most of them are near the walls of the craters. It was also found that some boulders moved right after the asteroid impact, while others, much later. Researchers have given an explanation for this. In their opinion, asteroid impacts are able to create a network of cracks, which is gradually growing. As a result, individual parts of the surface can become unstable even after a very long period of time. Surprisingly, traces of collapses were found even in areas whose landscape was thought to have been formed about 4 billion years ago. Typically, these prints disappear after several million years. Since they are still visible on the surface, scientists have suggested that these areas are still prone to erosion, and rockfalls on them continue. Researchers say that only where there are no craters, rockfalls can be of seismic or volcanic origin. 2 in America, 2, creeping stones. Scientists led by paleobiologist Richard Norris reported that they revealed the secret of moving stones in Death Valley. They published the results of their research in the journal PLOS One. For a long time, it remained a mystery why the stones move slowly along the bottom of the dried-up Rheastrake Playa Lake, Death Valley National Park, California. The change in the position of the stones can be easily traced by the long tracks left by them on the clay bottom of a dead reservoir. The mass of stones does not exceed 320 kilograms, and the traces that they leave behind when moving stretch at a distance of several hundred meters. Objects can change the direction of their movement, and the change in position itself can occur once in several years. A number of explanations were proposed for such a natural phenomenon, but in a new study, scientists said they were able to directly observe the movement of stones. For this, scientists used 15 stones identical to natural ones. The park administration did not allow experts to carry out stones from the valley itself, which were placed at the bottom of a dried lake in the winter of 2011. Researchers installed high-precision navigation sensors at the objects, which monitored changes in the position of artificial and natural stones. In December 2013, scientists discovered that the bottom of Lake Rheastrake Playa was covered with a layer of water about 8 centimeters high, after which some stones changed their position. Some of them moved at speeds up to 5 meters per second at a distance of at least 3 millimeters, while others moved more slowly, a few centimeters per second. The movement of stones took place over a different period of time, from several seconds to 16 minutes, on sunny and clear days that came after frosty nights. The morning sun caused the melting of the ice crust, which by the middle of the day fell into plates up to several tens of meters long. Under the influence of wind, these plates of ice pushed stones along the clay liquid. Researchers note that the movement of stones is influenced by several factors. In the first place, daily temperature drops in winter, coastal wind, and the nature of the soil at the bottom of the lake. Meanwhile, the authors note that the low thickness of the ice crust is compensated by the large size of the ice layers and often the small distances over which the stones move. Scientists suggest that climate change also affects the movement of objects. In their opinion, due to general warming, such movements began to occur less frequently. If you liked the video or it was just interesting, like and subscribe to the channel.